Russia successfully test-launched its Zircon, also known as Tsirkon Hypersonic cruise missile, from a military vessel for the first time early in January, as reported by TASS. This is a major step when it comes to fielding hypersonic weapons. As per source of TASS, in accordance with the Tsirkon state testing program, in early January this year, the Admiral Gorshkov ship carried out the test launch of this missile from the Barents Sea to a ground target in one of the military ranges in the northern Urals. Reports indicate that the flight exceeded 500 kilometers or 310 miles. The next stage in the Zircon development, after tests from the Admiral Gorshkov, would be a test from a nuclear submarine. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes the deployment of Zircon missile in Admiral Gorshkov warship. Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. An object is said to be hypersonic once they exceed speeds of Mach 5 or 5 times the speed of sound. This is about 1,715 meters per second, or 3,836 miles per hour, or 6,174 kilometers per hour. There are currently 3 methods being applied to make hypersonic weapons. The first is using HGV, or Hypersonic Glide Vehicle. In this method, the system is launched to extremely high altitudes using ballistic missiles, or an aircraft where it skips across the Earth's upper atmosphere. The vehicle then separates from the carrier and glides back to the Earth towards its intended target, attaining hypersonic speed. The second is through the use of ALBM, or Air-Launched Ballistic Missile. As the name suggests, this kind of missile is ballistic in nature, but is launched from air, unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which are launched from land or sea-based platforms. The third is using a scramjet engine. The scramjet is an innovation on the ramjet. Ramjet engine can power flight to supersonic speeds, but scramjet can enable the missiles to reach hypersonic speeds. These engines have no moving parts, like the compressors and turbines used in the turbofan engines found on conventional jet planes. They rely on the huge pressure created by fast airflow into the engine to ignite the fuel and generate thrust. In this method, a rocket booster is used to accelerate the missile to hypersonic speed. Then the scramjet engine kicks in and enables the missile to fly at sustained hypersonic speed. Zircon uses this method. It must be noted that traditional ballistic missiles like American Minuteman III, Russian Sarmat, or Indian Agni missile all travel at hypersonic speeds, but they follow a predictable ballistic trajectory and can't maneuver mid-course. As per President Putin's address in the Russian Federal Assembly, the Zircon is capable of reaching speeds of Mach 9. So it's much faster than a bullet fired from a sniper rifle. Actually, almost 3 times the speed of a sniper's bullet. The kinetic energy alone will rip a ship apart like a tin can. Mr. Putin stated that the missile has a range of over 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles. The missile weighs 5 tons. President Putin mentioned that the missile is able to destroy both seagoing and land targets. As per reports, the Zircon will have both radar target seeker and an optical electronic complex to detect and track targets. The missile could be equipped with a high explosive warhead or even a tactical nuclear warhead. Mr. Putin has told the Zircon is mainly intended to be deployed in seagoing platforms, such as serially made surface warships and submarines, including those that are already operational and being built. Admiral Gorshkov class, also known as Project 22350, is the Russian Navy's newest class of frigate. Russian Navy plans to manufacture as many as 15 of the warships, but the number could swell up to 30. The lead ship of the class, Admiral Gorshkov, was commissioned on the 28th of July, 2018. The Admiral Gorshkov class has a length of 120 meters. To give viewers a perspective, it's the same as the length of a football field. The warship has been designed with stealth in mind, and the external contours are laid out in such a way that they reflect the radar signal away from the emitting source, thereby reducing the RCS, radar cross-section. The warships of the class displace around 5,400 tons when fully loaded. The Admiral Gorshkov warships will have a speed of 29.5 knots or 54.6 kilometers per hour or 33.9 miles per hour, and a range of 4,850 nautical miles or 8,900 kilometers or 5,580 miles. Admiral Gorshkov is equipped with state-of-the-art sensors that will provide excellent situational awareness. The Admiral Gorshkov class is designed as a multi-role warship capable of carrying out air defense, anti-surface warfare, and anti-submarine warfare. It's actually the most heavily armed frigate in the world, as the design has accommodated a lot of options, including 48 VLS, or Vertical Launch System cells. For the anti-surface role, 16 2x8 UKSK VLS cells are dedicated. They currently carry P-800 Onyx and/or Caliber missiles. P-800 has 600 kilometers, or around 370 miles engagement range, and can travel at a speed of Mach 2.5. It has a 250 kilogram or 550 pounds high explosive warhead. The anti-ship missile variant of Caliber family of missiles has a range of 300 kilometers, or around 185 miles, and flies at a speed of Mach 3. It carries a 500 kilogram or 1,100 pounds warhead. It's likely that these VLS have now been used for launching Zircon, though not yet confirmed. The most important aspect of Zircon is its speed. The speed would give air defenses very little time to detect and fire interceptors. Current air defense systems can defend against subsonic missiles reliably and are effective against supersonic missiles to an extent, but against hypersonic missiles they'll fail. It's to be noted that America's Government Accountability Office (GAO) report has stated that the U.S. currently lacks the defenses required to protect against the latest crop of hypersonic weapons being developed by China and Russia. The report states, China and Russia are pursuing hypersonic weapons because their speed, altitude, and maneuverability may defeat most missile defense systems, and they may be used to improve long-range conventional and nuclear strike capabilities. There are no existing countermeasures. Viewers can go through the report from the link given in the description section below. In its response to the GAO, the Department of Defense described the report as an accurate, although sobering macro picture of how the U.S. stands in the world against emerging threats. Another important aspect of the missile is its plasma cloud. As per multiple reports, the missile is completely covered by a plasma cloud during the flight. The plasma cloud would absorb radio frequencies emitted from radars, and since the waves are not reflected back, it will essentially mean that the missile will be invisible. It's highly likely that the missile will be detected very late, and this will make intercepting Zircon almost impossible with the current crop of air defense systems. Admiral Gorshkov, armed with Zircon, will be a credible threat to American assets, especially the U.S. Navy supercarrier and the carrier strike group. Since Zircon is heavy and fast, it will have lots of kinetic energy, which will come into play along with the explosive warhead, and a single hit from it could be enough to cripple even a supercarrier.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.